Warkworth to Alnmouth on the Northumberland Coastal Path. Welcome to another coastal adventure as you join me, artist Joanne Wishart, on a painter's journey from Warkworth to Alnmouth on the Northumberland Coastal Path. Today we're embarking on a 6-mile or 10-kilometre walk along the stunning Northumberland Coastal Path. Starting from the historic village of Warkworth and heading north to the picturesque seaside village of Alnmouth, we'll explore shores, shipwrecks and river views on this undiscovered stretch of sand. Our journey begins in Warkworth, a village steeped in history, with a medieval castle taking centre stage, nestled in a horseshoe-shaped loop of the River Coquet. We set off after a bite of breakfast from Bertram's Cafe and head out of the village through the striking medieval archway and over the river, which is thought to be the only surviving fortified bridge left in England. Crossing over the road, we find a signposted path which leads us along the side of some fields and hedgerows towards the beach. The fresh sea breeze hits my face as I cross over the dunes and down onto Warkworth Beach, a magnificent expanse of unspoiled coastline. It's the perfect place to pause and take in the views. The receding tide displays a glossy sheen on the waterlogged sands, creating reflections from the sky above. The expanse of sand reveals remains of shipwrecks trapped in the sand. If anyone knows anything about the history of this boat, I'd love to know in the comments. Looking back to the southeast, you can spot Amble Harbour and Coquet Island in the distance. It's a fairly grey day today, but Northumberland's weather is changeable, so I'm hoping for some blue skies later on in the day. Walking to Alnmouth feels like a creative homecoming for me. I spent many happy summers here visiting my grandparents as a child. But today's walk from Warkworth gives me a fresh perspective, as it's my first time approaching the village from the south. As we take steps north towards Alnmouth, we pretty much have the place to ourselves, with interesting rock formations creating a nice slippery challenge for me to climb over. It doesn't take long to see the beautiful Northumberland village of Alnmouth in the distance, and the low tide allows us to approach it from a new direction. As my footsteps cross over the glossy sands, we head to the riverbank for some shelter and a much-needed picnic break. I'm not going to lie, it's cold and windy and my fingers are frozen, so my sketch today really doesn't do the landscape justice. But my eyes are open and I'm taking in the visual landscape, forming ideas in my head. started, we climbed the dunes to the top of the Memorial Church Hill to really take in the stunning view. The geography of the landscape can really be seen here from the top, as you can see the old path the river took before the big storm of 1806, which broke down the banks of the dunes to form the path of the river as we see it today. This devastating storm shaped the future of Alnmouth, which was once a thriving seaport. The shallower waters sent trade into a decline. Today, Alnmouth is one of the most desirable tourist hotspots on the Northumberland coast, and it is where I spent most of my summer holidays as a child visiting my grandparents. To finish our walk and cross over the river to Alnmouth, you have two choices. If you are brave enough and it's very low tide, you can wade across the shallows to the other side, but be careful as there are often patches of quicksand. It's pretty cold today for barefoot wading and we have more exploring to do, so we backtrack over the dunes to rejoin the path, which takes us around the edge of the marshlands and towards the road. I was delighted to stumble across this old ruin called Mortuary Chapel from 1870, which was built after the floods destroyed an ancient parish church of St Warwick, which previously stood on top of Church Hill. After skirting around the estuary and marshlands, the final stretch of our walk sees us proceeding through farmland with views over the river, with wildlife, boats and of course the colourful street of Louvain Terrace overlooking the water. I've painted this street many times as it's so joyous and charming. Some call it the Balamory of Northumberland. We finish our journey in Alnmouth with a hard-earned brew and a slice of cake, followed by a visit to the Aln gift shop, my favourite little shop, which also stocks my greetings cards, gifts and prints, so if you're visiting the area, do pop in for a look. Thanks for joining me on this walk today. Please like and subscribe and join me on my next walk from Alnmouth to Craster. See you next time!